Hey everyone, Alex from cnc-o-rama here today, and today we're going to talk about how to take a handwritten note and turn it into a cool 3D printed Mother's Day card. We're doing this with the help of Fusion and Prusa slicer. If you're using a different slicer, you can probably do the same thing, or if you have a multicolor 3D printer, then that's even easier. So follow along and hope you enjoy. All right, so I'm going to write a note on a piece of paper, and I'm using a pretty thick Sharpie here because I want the lines to be thick. So let's see. I took a picture with my iPhone. I'm going to go in and mainly want to set the contrast as high as possible. And then I can do other things, brightness, let's see. I basically want the dark to look darker and the light to look lighter. Let's see, highlights. All right, so that looks pretty good to me. I guess I can crop this a little bit too. All right, so I think that'll work. All right, so I'm looking for an SVG file. So I'm gonna do just Google for image to SVG converter. I'll try this first one. All right, so one step that I did that I didn't show you is I converted that image to a JPEG because it comes out as a HEIC file, and this needs a JPEG. So I'm going to upload the picture from here. All right, and that didn't come out perfect. Let's see. So I'm just playing with some of these settings here. Edge 1 was the default, and it looks kind of funny. If I change this to internal, it actually looks way better. So I'll go with that and then download SVG. I'm going to create a new sketch, and I'm going to first start with a rectangle, a center rectangle just for frame of reference. I'm going to do a 4x4. And if I double click on this rectangle and hit X on my keyboard, then that becomes construction geometry. And then I'm going to create a line through the origin. So let me start. I'm going to first create it off center a little bit. And then if I make this coincident with the origin, then it's on the origin. Now I want to do a fit point spline from the top point to the bottom point, and then enter. So this spline I can make into half a heart basically. And this is always a little bit tedious to get this working, make this work look just like you want. That looks pretty good to me. And then I'm also gonna make this vertical line construction geometry. So if I select that and hit X on my keyboard, it's construction geometry. And then I can just mirror this across. So I'll mirror this line. Oops, I think I selected 2 there. Mirror that across this vertical. And now I can extrude this. I'm gonna go like 0.2. This doesn't need to be super thick. So I got kind of a heart looking thing. Now I can go insert SVG. I'll insert it from my computer. So the sketch plane, I'll pick the top of this. And then I can see the writing I need to kind of move over here, and then I can scale this down. So maybe I need to go like 0.5. See if that'll work. Yeah, that just barely fits. So click OK there. Finish sketch. Now I can actually extrude. If I select all these. So this is like one of the coolest things you can do. Extrude an SVG. And I probably could have found an easier way to select all that. And then there's a little dot in here. I'm going to include that in the extrusion. I'm going to extrude it down. Maybe I want to go 0.1. Actually, that kind of works. That's like halfway through. So I'll do that. And now I got this. All right, so I'm ready to print this. So I'm going to go Utilities, under Make, 3D Print. And I'm using Prusa Slicer. This is my object. I'm going to use a 3MF format. And this should send it directly to Prusa Slicer for me. All right, so I'm here in Prusa Slicer. If you're using a different slicer, you might have to do some research to see how this is done. But I'll just show you how to do it here in Prusa Slicer. So I'm going to first slice. And then as I look at this, I'm going to drag down the layer bar here. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see. So I want to find the point where the center letters are fully finished, but it hasn't finished the top layer yet. So to me, this looks like about the right point. So I'm going to right click and add color change. And then I can just drag this all the way up. And these are definitely not the colors I'll be using, but you can see it works the way I want it to. So I'm going to again slice now. And now I can export my G code or send it to my 3D printer. And let's see how it turns out. All right, so here's how this turned out. Not a perfect print. I had a little bit of lifting at the front, which maybe I should have done like a brim around it or something, but overall looks cool. And the lettering looks very similar. So I would call it a success. So hopefully you can take this and make it your own. Maybe you got some birthdays coming up that you want to do this for. Father's Day too. So take it and run with it, and good luck. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that stuff.